Hello and welcome back to Cud Buds with Scott of Grogpod. We're playing Caves of Cud. I know that's strange.
It could be any one of those other CUD games you hear about.
I
The
want another Cud game. There is technically a second Cud game, lesser
oh,
known.
huh. The Lands of CUD?
That's very funny. No, it's the World of Cud. No, it's actually Sproggywood.
Oh, that's right. Is that in the same universe?
Yeah, it is actually.
Huh, interesting. Because I know that's the game that's made by the Caves of CUD developers that has more of like is it more of like a roguelite-y sort of feel to it, or is it still
Yeah, it's roguelite with some traditional roguelike kind of sensibilities. I've played a little bit of it and I
Hmm.
like it, but definitely it doesn't call to me as much as Caves of Cod. But
Hmm.
it's one of those things. I actually really feel like I need to do a series on Sproggywood just to like complete the hierarchical kind of like catalog of Cud. Like this is as I think it's I don't know if this is spoilers or not, but I think it's actually a prequel.
Oh, interesting. Because I thought it always looked kind of like Tangle Deep in a way, where
Yeah.
it's like that kind of more SNES style art palette, maybe less systems heavy as what we got going on here, but maybe a little more uh, streamlined in its scope and a much thinner slice of the CUD universe, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, Tangle Deep, that's a fun game. I don't think I would be into Caves of Cud if it wasn't for Tangle Deep.
Hmm. More cave related
Yeah,
mayhem.
that's true. I need to play more of it. Something
It's
about it.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it has really great native gamepad support. And I see people like talking in like Steam reviews and online and stuff about like, oh, well, yeah, but it's really good, but all this stuff and in the limited amount of time that I've experimented with it, I haven't gotten to that but part yet. It still felt like it's felt like really good and the music to it is great. I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
realize at first that the game was actually developed by a guy who I had listened to a lot of his OC remix albums. I think it was Zircon, if I remember right. But I was like, wait a minute, he made a game and it might be relevant to my interest. So yeah, I think it's if you have a passing interest in the genre, um, yeah, I think it's worth taking a look. If nothing else, as like a good intro level game for traditional roguelikes. I feel like CUD is like traditional roguelikes level 3 or 400, and Tangle Deep is more on like your mystery dungeon intro end of the spectrum of like, welcome to roguelikes 101 kind of deal.
That's interesting. Oh, I was gonna ask if Grogpod has covered Tangle Deep.
Not yet, but actually, it is one of our pretty um, often requested listener episodes. Like we get a lot of requests from listeners say, "Hey, you should check out this game," and I compile them into a spreadsheet, of course, and make sure to keep the numbers balanced. And Tangled is up there, but we always get something that like just ekes out Tangle Deep like right at the last second when it comes to um, one of our listener request episodes that we cycle through. So we tend to rotate between the hosts of like, okay, this host is picking this game, this host is picking this game, and then we get to, all right, what have the listeners requested for us to cover thus far? And in some cases, it's like, well, we'll get to that because like of scheduling things, and maybe it doesn't make sense to put that game like right up against a game we just covered, kind of deal. Um, but yeah, it's one that people have been clamoring for a while.
You gotta do Dungeon Mans, right?
Yeah, Dungeon Mans is great. That's one that I feel like is has a lot of really fun, charming writing to it, and I love the sprite work. I love the overall design of it, and it feels for me something that scratches the itch a lot better than like Ancient Domains of Mystery Adom
Yeah.
does, because it feels like it just gets to the point much quicker, and I'm not having to like juggle all these weird D&D stat things at the back of my mind all the time.
Adam is one of those games I highly respect, but I do not enjoy.
Yeah, I can respect the legacy that it's had for sure. Um, but games like the recently released free to play game Moonring, I think kind of does that same formula in a little bit more of like kind of like, it's a better sort of intro to that open world, almost like an Ultima like
Yeah.
formula.
No, I know
Um,
the dev was like directly inspired in trying to make like an Ultima like for
yeah.
Moonring. I loved Moonring. Moonring was amazing. Uh,
Yeah. One game that I wish had maybe, well, I played a little bit on my Steam Deck. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to be typing a lot of stuff in this. I should probably switch back to my desktop.
that's Moonring, right?
Yeah, because you're typing stuff about like, tell me more about this specific topic, and I think you have to
Right.
type out the topic name. I don't remember if you can like click it based on the context, like the highlighted context keywords from the
Yeah,
description.
I don't think you can. No. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess it's a game made for the desktop.
Yeah. So welcome to us talking about Moonring and other games that are not Caves of Cud.
They're tangentially related. The reason I brought up Dungeon Man's, by the way, is it's about to hit its 10th anniversary.
Whoa, I didn't realize it's been out for so long.
It made me
Or
laugh because like the developer announced this, and they announced that they're gonna do like there's a big update coming out for Dungeon Man's, and he says yes, coming out December, and I don't think that there's any other traditional roguelike news kind of worth talking about. So this is it. This is the big traditional roguelike news.
yeah, what else could be coming out in December that might have a big splash in early December for traditional roguelike news?
I mean, he's done that before where like he'll bring out an update, and I think the one of the big updates that Dungeon Man's had, he's like, it's not as deep as Caves of Cud, but it is, you can still buy it. It's still good.
Yep. Well, depth, we are 2 strata deep
Yeah.
here at Red Rock. I don't remember if we've encountered Snapjaws yet. I think we
We
did.
haven't?
I think
Well, we
we
definitely did in the tutorial.
That's right. But we've been bashing baboon skulls
Oh heck yeah.
recently. Um,
And
so
he's got a beaded bracelet.
yeah, that looks important because the coloring,
Oh,
right?
again, it's just kind of describing what it looks like.
Oh, okay,
So
so this is
it's a blue beaded bracelet.
yeah, yeah. Again, my Diablo brain is like, ooh, this is like a set item, right? I gotta get it.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I mean, there's a little bit of that because, like, once you get to some of the stranger gear, they're going to start showing up in all kinds of fun colors.
mhm,
So you can kind of suss out, but it's definitely not like, oh, it's red, it must be good.
yeah,
Club.
and a short bow.
Yeah. So that's one you're going to want to try and eke towards you. Or charge.
Mhm.
Charge is good too.
Whoa,
Ooh,
we've
nice. All right.
this we
So
we got a party going here.
yeah, that's the Tot Eater. Hulking Snapshot Tot Eater. Hated by the
This
villagers
guy
of Tupad
this guy looks like he means business.
for leading a raiding party on one of their camps. Very good to always look at. So, legendaries in CUD are always pink or this magenta color,
Mm,
and they always come with an entourage. I think that's the right word.
mhm.
A group, a party. Um, and so here's the fun thing is if you try and do the whole like, oh, I'm gonna go upstairs and then just try and like single you out, if
Uh-huh.
he manages to get like he will bring the entire entourage.
Right.
And so you can see what that looks like because it's actually really funny. Because you might not even see everyone that is with them. And so I'll like
Yeah.
as soon as I like I'll leave the floor and then the entire party just appears on the staircase. So it's a bit of a
'Cause
bummer.
so I've gone up one stair level. I'm blocking the staircase here, but I think what you're warning is that
Don't step off
that
of it. Yeah.
oh, so if I step off it, like they're gonna take up like the 3x3 grid of
Yeah, if the legendary comes up, all of his followers will come up instantaneously. Like they come up with
Mhm.
him. So if you stay on the stairs there, you can fight them one at a time, assuming that they're on the stairs trying to come up and fight you, which they are. It looks like.
oh, yeah, I'm just hitting my 5 key on the numpad to wait in place.
Oh, okay.
Then
You wanna be attempting to go downstairs, and that's how you fight them on the staircase.
attempting to go down.
Well,
Okay.
you wanna, yeah, exactly.
Oh, interesting, huh?
So you
'Cause-
try, if they're on the staircase trying to go up, which you can't see, you
Yeah.
can't see if that's true. If you hit down stairs down, then you will fight whoever's on the staircase.
In the similar way as like the melee bump attacking in
Yeah.
any of the normal XY directions.
Yeah, so you're fighting between floors here, which is novel.
Interesting. All right, so one of them is down.
One of them is
I'm
down.
guessing,
That'll clear the staircase.
yeah.
So if you
but
try and go down
someone,
now,
oh, I hope I.
oh no,
Oh, I see.
they
Someone
got
else
replaced.
is taking their spot.
That's good. You could have ended up like on the staircase surrounded by Snapjot, but then you just walk back up, and then hopefully
Yeah.
you're not dead in that one.
Well, okay.
This is good. You cleared out his whole group, and you'll want to make use of your dismember. If you can get a lucky dismember, you missed. Ah, well. Oh, go.
So I missed. So 5 versus 17. 17 is their armor value?
No, it's like I say, it's not simple. The kind of dice roll to hit like versus 17 could have been what they rolled. I think you roll your dodge value something like I have kind of given up trying to memorize some of those stuff. Really, I just kind of boil down my understanding to bigger number better.
Right.
And you are you are in danger.
Yeah, I'm almost at half health here. This guy he's injured but still dangerous, and someone's shooting me from off screen here, which is not great.
Oh yeah, so you probably want to go upstairs. He might bring whoever that is. They might be another follower of his. But if you want to eat a witchwood bark on the stairs, you might have a better chance here. At least you're not getting shot at as well.
Because one thing that I was thinking of is I could just like back up into this narrow one tile hallway.
Yeah,
and
you
fight
could.
them one at a time there. But I'm guessing that would be less good because then it's just like a conga line one after another, and I don't have that option of like escaping and using an item as easily.
Well, it's really the same. It's exactly the same as what you're doing. The only reason I didn't suggest it is because it means you have those 2 or 3 tiles of movement that you have to take to get there.
Yeah.
And that's you could be getting shot at, and it's just not necessary when the staircase is right here. The staircase sucks because you don't know when they're on the staircase, but you know they're on the staircase right now.
Yeah. And I don't have to worry about the confusing layout here that has not changed technically, but my visual interpretation of it has changed.
Yeah. All right. It's going pretty well, actually. They're wounded. You pour fresh water from your hua all over yourself.
I was just so confused. I didn't know whether am I thirsty? Should I continue fighting?
Well, you're an amphibian, right? That's how you
Oh,
drink
right, I
water,
didn't
is
think about that.
by pouring fresh water on yourself.
So is that an automated
Yeah.
setting? Oh, okay.
So when you're amphibious, you instead of drinking water, you pour it onto yourself.
Because I gotta stay wet.
Yeah.
And is that something that I can go through salty water with?
I think that is fine. That's an interesting question I have never considered, is what happens when you go wading in other liquid. Are you like drying yourself up quicker? You definitely dry up quicker as an amphibian, and it kind of sucks because you do blow through water a lot quicker.
Yeah, because one thing I didn't really understand when first playing CUD is that, well, this is not super helpful at the moment, but the water that you carry is your money.
Yeah.
And if you're just like a normal human dude drinking water to survive, you're drinking your cash flow there.
Yeah.
Like you are drinking your like literal gold that you use for bartering and stuff.
Well, so it's kind of your baseline currency, but you very quickly grow out of using water as your main currency. Generally, you will buy and pick up trade goods. And in fact, you're going to get one very soon. The beaded bracelet is an example of that, which is worth more than the weight of water would be. There's I can't remember, and you'll have to forgive me. My memory for like very specific information is not great, but like there's actually a ratio of like exactly how valuable the weight of water is
Hmm.
per dram or something like that. Like I think it's something like 7, um, something like that. But basically, you can figure out if something is worth more per its poundage than just carrying more water would be. And generally speaking, water is actually not worth a lot per its weight. What's kind of interesting is it's in a way weight is like your currency.
Yeah, because your equip load and like what stuff. Because you were talking in one of our earlier videos about like, oh yeah, you'll be collecting so many batteries, you won't even know what to do with them. And then at some point, like that becomes your new like meta currency as the game progresses in a way, I'm guessing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, chem cells are actually a great form of trade good. They only weigh like 1 each, but they're generally worth like 20 drams. So they're actually worth quite a bit more than the actual weight of water. I think okay, I think you're good. That was a bloody battle. Ooh, quite
A
a lot of
jewel
stuff going on.
encrusted short bow.
Okay, you know what? There's 2 buttons at the top next to the one with the lock on it. So third from the left and fourth from the left. You want to click both of those. Yeah. And yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, you just lost a bit of verticality space on your log, but I don't know if you were paying much attention to that anyway. And also the irrelevant stuff will be at the bottom.
hmm.
But this shows you all of the stuff that is adjacent to you and how where it is. So like the beaded
Hmm.
bracelet is 1 south, for instance. Oh, you got a data disc. Oh my god. That's
And
an
like
odd
because all
find.
that stuff is just like littered on the staircase, basically.
Some of it is the data disk is, and the jewel encrusted shortbow is.
Or
So
like
you,
under these blood
if
splatters
you
and
hit G, you'll see a list of all of the stuff that you're currently standing on.
huh.
So you'll definitely want that data disk. You'll want the daggers, which I can talk about the why in a sec. Not well,
Oh.
not the longsword, but that's fine. You can pick it up. There's no problem with that. One of the
Mm.
benefits of multiple legs is you have more carrying space,
Hmm.
so you can definitely pick up more.
Would
You
I want
definitely want that cap.
arrows?
If you maybe like if you want to do bows, I wouldn't. I guess I would pick up them because they are weightless.
Mm.
I don't know what you're
Oh,
using for your
interesting.
body. What if you go to the leather apron and then oh, there's another guy just standing next to you.
Oh yeah, this
How
guy
did he
here.
get there? You could just freeze ray him. Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. Ugh. Yeah, if you go to equip manual, it's the one way I kind of use to compare it. So like, yeah, equip manual, and then you're using leather armor. So I think that's 2 AV, so it's better than the apron. You don't want to pick. You can
I
just
don't remember
escape
if
out of
it's
this.
cracked though.
Cracked is a temporary effect.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's a. I think that trips a few people up. Cracked
Hmm.
wears off eventually.
Hmm. Just
Broken
self
doesn't.
self heals.
Yeah, it's the self healing armor. Broken doesn't, and neither does rusted. You have to use either fix it spray foam for those, or go and have a tinker repair.
Hmm. Hmm. So we picked up a jewel encrusted short bow.
Yeah, so
This it
that'll.
sounds valuable.
Yeah, it'll be. It's a modifier which will basically multiply the value of the short bow, but it's a short bow, so we're not talking a lot of money here.
Mm, right.
But that data disk is interesting. That is a blueprint. We can't learn it because we don't have tinkering.
And this is like so in Caves of Cud when we were picking our character, we picked a mutated human, but that's only like 50% of like the character creation options, where the other one is this whole universe of cybernetics and limb grafting and turning yourself into the T-1000 and all that stuff. Is this like more technological stuff that we encounter more bent towards that play style?
You'd think so, wouldn't you? No, I think that every playthrough um, should probably be a tinkerer. I know that's maybe I hesitate to say that because it does suggest that you are pigeonholed into tinkering, but personally, I just think tinkering is really fun and also just like gives you endless kind of agency over your build and your run.
And tinkering is kind of like crafting or modifying equipment.
Yeah, exactly. So you, in fact, you just got a modification. You can, this will let you add flaming to any weapon.
Huh.
It then has to be powered, just so you know. So you'd have to have one of your chem cells and slot it in. But flaming, I mean, it's okay. But like, it's something, right? Like you now have the option of having a flaming axe, and that's fun.
Yeah. So I'm guessing learn would be if we were a true kin, we would just pop this data disk into the back of our headmaster chief style, and then we would have that ability to add that to subsequent items that we find.
No, actually, it's based on your skills. It's if you knew tinkering, then you'd be able to learn this data disk.
Yeah, because right
That
now
would
this
be
is just
it would be in
totally
skills,
blank.
yeah. And it told you it was actually a tinkering level 1. So you'd have to take the tinkering skill set and then you'd have to take tinker 1, and that means you would have to have 19 intelligence. You have 14. The tutorial build did you dirty and it gave you a dump stat of 14 intelligence. You won't be learning intelligence in this playthrough basically until end game.
But this is something to keep in mind for like if you're doing a custom character build, like this is something that you recommend like everyone should do to have like a good level of like end game viability.
Yeah, not to be too spoilery about it, but like honestly, mutants benefit hugely from tinkering. There's one mutation that lets you generate electricity, and then there's a modification that you can add to anything that requires electricity to then benefit from your mutation.
Whoa.
So you can level up your electrical generation and then literally infinitely charge like your guns, sentry droids. There's like some armor that requires generation that would make you more tough and more powerful. It's absurd. And then there's also things like compute power that powers up all of those things. It's ridiculous.
So you have become the chem cell.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh.
fun extra thing. When you have that specific mutation, electrical generation, you can drink chem cells and it gives you power.
This is the kind of thing that like if you took that sentence just like totally out of context, you'd just be like, what on earth are you talking about? But in the context of Caves of Cud, it's just, yeah, of course, you become a human battery and then you're drinking Duracells as you're running around.
That's right.
It's a totally normal thing that you encounter in every video
You just keep going and going. You could go forever.
All right, so that data disk we should keep in our back pocket for now.
I mean, for this run, I don't know what to tell you, but you
Yeah.
have 14 intelligence. I would,
Because there's no way that you can like bank equipment for subsequent runs or anything.
no, yeah, there's no meta progression in Caves of Cud.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could keep, and the data disk is, I think, no, it does weigh, unfortunately. So, like a metagamey thing you could do, I say metagaming, but it's just like knowledge that I've picked up is like, I would go and find a chest that one of the numerous chests that you've opened and just, disregarded, go and grab a chest and then like dump it at Joppa and then put a bunch of stuff in there that you're not going to use for a while.
Because no one's going to come by and steal out
Yeah.
of your chest, I'm guessing.
Exactly.
And I'm guessing there might be factions that might find this to be valuable and you could use it for bartering. And
You could trade it. Yeah. Data disks are pretty good for trade.
yeah. Strata 2.
We've almost made it to, well, we got a few more Joppa, or not Joppa, Snapjaws to fight.
But these are just the low level guys.
Yeah.
Oh, my freeze ray's still on cooldown here.
They do have Swarmer, though. Worth noting.
Swarmer.
Yeah. Receives +1 to hit in melee and +1 to pen. That's the part that sucks.
Huh.
So if you're surrounded by Snapjaws, they all get +1.
Oof.
And yeah. And is it for each other hostile swarmer? So basically, like, depending on the situation, they could have like +2 and 3. And then they're penning multiple times, and that's all of that. And your AV is only at 1 right now, so that really,
Yeah.
that is a kick in the teeth.
It's like getting surrounded by zerglings or something.
Yeah. There's more
Luckily,
stuff
we
here.
can still one hit them.
Did you pick up
Oh,
the beaded bracelet? I know there's a beaded bracelet somewhere. It might be upstairs, actually. I'm just keeping an eye on that. No, it's not upstairs.
oh yeah, I did
Oh
pick it
yeah,
up.
okay. Since it is a trade good, your character automatically picks it up.
Oh,
So that's
and
a trade good.
yeah,
1 pound and it's 30 drams, I believe, generally speaking, 33
huh.
ish.
I know that the Snapjaw leader had a different beaded bracelet on. I think it was a different color.
No, I think that's the one. It was blue,
Was
right?
it?
You might be thinking of the jeweled short bow.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I was gonna explain daggers, which is like some really next level metagamey nonsense. Um, daggers are I like collecting daggers because they are actually per their weight technically more valuable or as valuable as water.
Whoa.
But no other weapon. Since daggers are 1 pound each, they kind of skirt the line of actually worth it. And because there's a
Mhm.
lot of them, as you collect them, it does add up. But things
Yeah.
like battle axes, 5 pounds, not worth it. Long swords, 5 pounds, not worth it.
Right. And are there like specific merchants that are like, ah, yes, like I will gladly take your weapons at a higher price than other people that are like, ah, I have no interest in weapons.
No, everyone's a capitalist in code. Not actually true, but like yeah, they no one gives you a better price.
Huh.
It might actually I will say it might be based on reputation.
Mm.
So you might actually have a better price from a faction you have better reputation with.
Mm.
But good luck. It's one of those things that I don't think is really worth metagaming. Like you could, for instance, like I mean, like the Merchants Guild is a one that's like you will gain more reputation with over time.
Yeah.
You can control F on this screen as well, by the way, if it interests
Oh,
you.
interesting.
This is Narf's doing. Narf it basically went to extra work to insist that every screen in CUD has Control F filter.
Whoa, that is crazy. Huh.
But yeah, the Merchants Guild covers every single legendary merchant, including like liquid and book and anything. So if you make good friends with them, then any legendary you sell to or buy from will give you better prices. I think I might have to look that up though.
Hmm. But I don't want to be trading with bears anytime soon, it seems like.
Maybe not. Yeah, no. They'll sell you some honey. I'm not kidding about that. They definitely have some honey.
Hmm.
Let me just and now I'm on the wiki making sure I'm not selling lies.
Ooh, we got a painted smooty or sooty smock.
Oh, if
Painted
it's
with a
painted,
scene.
yeah, go for it.
This item is painted with a scene from the life of the ancient Sultan Joppa III. One auspicious day, a scribe found a babe with a rhythmic moment in time chosen arbitrarily in each hand outside of her scriptorium. She and her fellow scribes adopted the babe and named him Joppa III. Plus 45 reputation with the Hourglass Broker cult. Oh, yeah, I have learned some information about that. One of the procedurally generated sultans that we have so far. So we have our good buddy Reshef, who's always in everyone, Datafa the Fifth, and oh, the Datafa the Third. No relation. Um,
They might be related. I'm
hmm.
not sure actually. I think yeah, because sultans will sometimes change families.
Oh, and I
You
guess one thing that I was going to ask about these sultans in particular, like, is the importance for these guys like related? So they're related to like all the stuff in this world that you've generated for this character. Um, like when you rolled your character and you generated this new world, like these are the historical leaders of it, except this
Mhm.
guy was always in it every time. But like these guys, do they have some sort of like domain or control? Like, ah, this guy is the leader of the plant people, or this guy's the leader of the ice apes, or things
Yes.
like that.
So their history will give you clues about that. And as you say, it is procedurally generated, so it is actually worth reading them. For instance, she and her fellow scribes adopted the babe. So since it's using the word scribes, it gives you a clue as to what you can expect at her historic site. And when you say domain, the historic sites are all related to the sultans and relate to their history in a very real sense. So like it'll say something like, she was the mother of boars, and then so you're going to be fighting a lot of boars at the historic site. It'll give you clues about the likely a tool or trinket or weapon that they used in their reign, and these are things that you can hope to obtain at the historic sites. In fact, you already have quests, at least one quest. I think you got lucky and got a few quests now to obtain some of these. So if you scroll down, visit Umish. I don't know if it's is that it? That's it.
I think
might
Umish
be thinking
was the only one that we have so far.
Okay, I was maybe I'm thinking of one of my playthroughs. You generally speaking, there are 2 quests associated with every sultan. Well, sorry, multiple, but generally there's one quest to visit the site, which you have, and then there's another quest to obtain the item that relates to the history at that place.
Is that like an Indiana Jones style? It belongs in a museum, and you're returning that artifact to the historic site to satisfy the sultan, or
as soon as you find it, like as soon as it's in your hand, you'll get the experience for achieving the quest. It's more like it belongs in your hand and to be used to destroy your enemies.
Joppa would have wanted us to bludgeon all those snapjaws. I guess we'll find out as we uncover more more lore details.
What's her deal? So evaporated of all moisture. It's not really giving you much rhythmic moment. Rhythmic is a key word, but I can't remember what it means. I think you haven't gotten enough history. What about? Oh, and Joppa's you've only got the one as well. All right, well, we need some more history. Need to hit the books, almost literally.
That was just finding this random.
Yeah, anything painted
smock.
Painted will always give you lore and history, and engraved. So if you ever see those monikers, or I don't know if monikers is the right word, but like the little the preamble of like painted or engraved, that means that there's history to learn there. And one fun thing you can do is actually if you go and meet a merchant, they might have some painted and engraved goods. You can look at them without buying.
Yeah.
And then get that history.
It's like taking a photo of someone's art at the art gallery.
Oh no.
All right, well, see you guys later. I've got everything I need here.
Jeez, yeah, I mean, I guess so.
So that was another thing I was interested in, was like we've been eating some witchwood bark on our adventure so far. We're getting a little low, but maybe this will carry us to getting through the quest here.
Yeah.
But if we were like, oh man, we really need to restock our supplies, where would we go to go and find one of those merchants? Is that something of just like, let's just go back into Joppa? That's the town that we know. We know that there's a merchant there. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah. So at Joppa, there's an apothecarist, and generally, but not always, there is an apothecarist at like every settlement. And apothecaries will sell witchwood bark. Not as much as before. It's been nerfed heavily, but you can still buy some. You will grow out of witchwood bark very soon, though. It's helpful, but it comes with downsides, and you have a better recovery tool in your arsenal soon called a salve, which is a tonic. But yeah, like all I can say is like talking to every NPC at Joppa is something I would recommend doing when in your first playthrough. Getting acquainted with all of the important people and the merchants, because they all sell something different. Tam is like a general goods dromad. She'll sell almost anything, including like sniper rifles if you've got the cash. And then now I think her name is Nimu. Is a fairly new NPC. They kind of Joppa got an upgrade, and now Elder Irudad has a daughter, who's now the appointed apothecarist. It used to be that Elder Irided would sell you your witchwood bark. You'd always have to go and talk to him and grab some witchwood bark, but now it's his daughter. Which, you know what, nice. She's got fun things to say, including like the direction that Joppa's heading in. Like, like asking her like, oh, are you gonna take over Joppa when Elder Irided kicks it?
Yeah.
And she's got fun responses to that.
So I was noticing on the map here there was like some kind of smoke or something billowing out over there. Is that generally like a warning sign of like, careful, or
that means someone's smoking? That means there's some fire. There's smoke or there's fire.
Yeah.
There's definitely. Oh yeah. Okay. So this is your Snapjaw Fort layer.
Ooh.
There's always a Snapjaw Fort in Red Rock now. And that's probably what that was. There's probably a campfire at that in that location. Maybe you just caught line of sight, or maybe like when you were entering this floor and it was kind of generating everything, it gave like one puff of smoke from the campfire.
Yeah.
You're in not a great place at all. Average, but then you have 2 centipedes and they're both average, and you only have 1 AV, and you're also surrounded by water, which means you're waiting, which means you take a nasty hit to your DV and other things as well. It's not a good situation. I would try and get out of this as quickly as I can.
Yeah.
There you go.
Waiting -20 move speed. There we go.
You're still keeping up. I don't know if you leveled at all. Can we put another point in your multiple legs? No, we can't. You're out of points. Oof.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, you could teleport. There is always that option, but you're not desperate yet.
Yeah, we don't want to run the risk of teleporting into the Snapjaw Fort just yet.
That's true. I mean, we could. Could get really spicy.
Uh-huh. All right, I think, let's see. If I can, like, dance around and, like, get back into this narrow corridor. Maybe.
Yeah. You're probably going to take some hits, but
yeah,
they're also waiting.
This guy...
I don't know if they're that smart. Sometimes they can appear that way, but generally they'll just try and go take the shortest route to you.
Yeah. So how would... I'm guessing this tile here is dry.
No. Weirdly. It's still in water.
Is that because it's wet?
Well, it's because there's multiple things going on there. I think it's either like if you hover over that with look, that tile, and then hit page up or page down. I can't remember which one on the keyboard.
Doesn't seem to be doing anything.
Maybe minus or plus. And when I say minus or plus, like maybe there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
So yeah, there's 460 grams of water underneath those bones, or okay, one of those things that can trip you up.
Yeah.
You went okay. That was a choice. That's all right. Did you grab that helmet, by the way?
Oh yeah, I think I did.
I don't think you did.
Leather cap.
Oh yeah, okay.
This guy, right?
Perfect. Yeah. You want to throw that on.
Just to get a little bit more.
Yeah, one extra AV is a good thing. Yeah, I mean, this is not a bad thing to try and fight. I might have head upstairs, but because now you don't have much choice. You kind of have to fight things.
And I guess I also run the risk of like an enemy getting to the tile just below me and then going to the diagonal side and getting kind of surrounded that way.
Well, you could back up a couple more tiles to stop that from happening. But yeah, I think you're probably okay here. Certainly you're better off than where you were. That brute, you might want to try and dismember them. Nice. What'd you get? Chopped off their face. Oh my goodness. That's violent. Cud is a violent game.
Yeah. Let's freeze you a little bit here.
Oh, broke freeze. That's right. He's got a whip. Whip's a weird weapon.
Huh.
It's got some strange stuff that I've never really looked into.
So if this guy, frozen puddle. So I was waiting a minute ago because I was in that puddle.
Yeah.
Is this guy waiting and suffering the same kind of debuffs?
They're in a puddle, so I don't know if they're wading. I don't know if there's enough water for them to wade in, but yeah, they will suffer the same effects. Cut is like a great equalizer in that sense. Everyone will suffer from the same stuff that you can suffer from. They might have
Mhm.
other resistances based on their like, you know, race or their class or whatever. Not class, but you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, they can get harmed the same way you can. And that's where the faction infighting is like really fun because you know you can see like someone could be running you down and then they just get taken out by another creature.
Right.
Oh yeah. Did you notice that that face has stats?
Yeah.
Go ahead and put that on. I'm not kidding.
But
You can
uh,
equip it manual.
maybe I'll clean the face first. Yeah, let's use some bloody water. Why not?
I mean,
Um,
okay.
well, yeah, I guess that didn't really do much. Equip?
Yeah, just go ahead and equip auto. So you've now put that severed Snapjaw face on your face. You're now
Eat your heart
wearing
out.
it like an absolute unhinged person.
This would be the best time to walk into the Snapjaw fort, then, right?
Well,
How
yeah,
do you do, fellow Snapjaws?
you do have negative 500 reputation with Snap because imagine someone wearing your fellow person's face running into your camp. But there's a reason I told you to wear that is it gives you +1 ego.
Huh.
And that'll actually buff up your teleportation slightly.
Fascinating.
You can look if you look at teleport now has an uncertainty radius of 10.
Huh.
Fun things in CUD, cutting off a face and wearing it on your face so you can teleport more easily. I can't tell you why that works that way. I don't have an in-universe explanation.
When they were saying caves of, you're cutting off someone's face, Qudding.
That's right. But we are hitting your cutoff. You no pun intended, I suppose. But
Qud off.
that's right. Do
Yeah.
we want to wrap up here? And we're almost halfway through Red Rock.
Yeah, let's wrap up here. Again, yeah, I think like the learning is maybe more valuable than the actual
Oh
objective.
yeah.
But
We're not gonna get very far, but we'll it's all good stuff.
yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably a good place to pause for the moment.
All right. Well, if you are enjoying this at home, maybe you want to hit the like button and consider subscribing for more of this. And you might also want to check out Scott's show, Grogpod, where he talks about roguelikes and roguelites and what else? What am I missing?
And we recap at the end of the year the season of roguelites and likes and everything in between of games that we've covered for the year. So depending on when this video comes out, we may have already done our Risk of Rain 2 episode, and we try to categorize them as best we can, so that way it's not just like, all right, we're just recapping the top 15 roguelike deck builders that we covered. I try to balance it out with all the different kind of categories and play styles, so that way, we recap with a lot of good variety of stuff. So yeah, we'll be doing a recap show pretty soon, and then after that, to give my co-hosts a break from the mandatory forced podcasting I force them to do, I do a like an end of year special with developer interviews. So this year I went to the Penny Arcade Expo here in Seattle, and I went through and I interviewed, I don't know, maybe like a dozen roguelike developers who were there showcasing stuff. So stay tuned for that as well.
Nice. That sounds actually really cool. Not to imply that it wouldn't be, but that I would listen to that. That sounds really cool. All right. Well, we'll see you next time.
See you then.